Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty. At the beginning of every month, it is time for me to do a scrapbooking kit build as part of the Counterfeit Kit Challenge design team. And if you don't know what that is, I will have all the links for you down below. We are inspired every month to build our own scrapbooking kit, then to use them up throughout the month. And we always start our inspiration with existing products in the world, so let's take a look at that now. Here is our inspiration for November. It is November 2025, and we are working off the October Glow October 2025 kit from Coco Daisy. Coco Daisy often does many additions to their kits, so here's a whole page of what's in that collection. But I've opened up just a few of the relevant things for us to take a look at. Here is an overview of the scrapbooking kit, and you can start seeing some of the elements in there. If we take a little bit of a closer look at some of the embellishments, we've got journaling cards and leafery chipboard. I love these tags. Those are going to show up for sure. Stamp set, I want to incorporate some of that. And then in terms of imagery, we've got pumpkins and birds and leaves, and definitely an autumnal color palette. Oh, I see some little sparkly enamel dots in there. Here is a mix of the paper and the embellishments. Here is a look at the journaling cards. I don't tend to use those, so I will move on. Scrapbook paper, all right. I want to expand the color palette a little bit because I do love these prints with the oranges and browns, but I have a hard time keeping everything in that same color palette. So I noticed, let's go back here. I noticed back here there were some pops of a brighter yellow, a rich blue, and then a red. So maybe that is a way that I can expand the color palette. And let's keep looking. Stamp, I definitely have something completely in mind for that. Another look at some of the embellishments. Oh, there's these metal, I don't know if they're like paper clips or photo corners or just kind of a general clip. What else? Washi tape. Okay, we can incorporate some of that. Let me know what you notice as I'm scrolling through these peeks at these kits, because it's always fun to see what you notice and what I did not, because when I go to look at other people's kit builds on our team, I often find they have incorporated stuff I didn't notice. All right, then there are some stickers, and of course we've got to have an alphabet, so there's one there, and then where did I see? Back over here. Yep, there we go. Brown alphabet. So we've got some choices there. All right, let me go to my space and start pulling supplies. So I always start my kit builds with the pattern papers, and I specifically wanted some autumn themed simple stories, but I found this, I think it's called Hearth and Home kit, and I really like some of the pieces in that one, so this is what I'm going for. And for just these first two pieces of paper, I may end up using the B side of those. Most of the time I only use the one side, and for this one I will only use this one side. But I wanted to make that clear because I had a comment last month about showing all of the papers that I'm going to use, and I realize I haven't been mentioning that lately. And so yes, when I'm showing the papers, I often just use the one side that I show, because trying to put a kit together with taking into all the different manufacturers and the A and B side, it's just too overwhelming to be, and I think it would be too overwhelming to most people. So I do just focus on the one side that I usually show. And a little bit different this time, I'm going to show all these papers more quickly, and then I will show you a comparison of the inspiration kit to how I pulled my papers for that kit. So let's get through these, and then we'll see that more of a one-to-one comparison next. And I'm sure you have noticed with these last few papers that I am pulling in more color, including some colored cardstock. And here is the view of all of the papers I chose, kind of in a color order, from more of the kit colors on the left to more of the extra colors that I added there on the right. So now let's go ahead and look at this one-to-one with the inspiration. So there's that inspiration up on the right-hand side, and I will point to each paper starting from the upper left of the inspiration and moving along and making notes. Like this paper, I chose the more colorful version of stripes to bring in more color, as opposed to the inspiration more brown and yellows. And then not all my papers will have a good one-to-one match. Like I just completely replaced the plaid with this more neutral piece because of the embellishments I chose. So we'll talk more about that later. Speaking of embellishments, this next paper that I picked, I chose because it has that collage-y look to the inspiration kit, but it also brings in more color. Plus it has mushrooms, and I love mushrooms, and I want to bring more of that into my embellishments. So then we're moving back to more of a one-to-one comparison until we get to that house print. I didn't have anything like that, so this is another space where I chose to go my own way and pull in more color. And then all of that colored pattern paper led me to choose some solid colors of cardstock because I know I have specific embellishing ideas in mind. So let's go ahead and turn to those embellishments. And this was inspired by this piece of the kit inspiration, which is these ledger style tags. I know I have in my stash these products from LDRS, and this is the ledger stamp, and you can see there it's pretty simple, just lines, and there's a second ledger stamp that has a different variety of lines. This line of products is used to create these collage-y looks, and I did this in a class once with LDRS. They have other stamps specifically in various themes that go with these ledger collage styles. And that is just a sample, and I may use that stamp set, but it's more of a wintry version, so I'm not sure I will. But this stamp set, while it's not specific to their ledger line, is very much in the vein of what they do with their ledger stamps, and it goes with our kit inspiration. So this is the stamping that I would like to do a lot of this month. I have a few more stamp sets here that I'm going to include in my kit that have some relevantness to this kit build. But earlier I chose a lot of cardstock and subtle pattern papers because I knew I wanted to do a lot of this stamping in the background because these products have been on my mind recently, and then the kit reveal made it click together. So that is my plan. Moving on, I have a few bits and pieces from Simple Stories that I pulled from other elements. I have another Simple Stories line, and this was the original line that I was thinking of using, and I just pulled out that one sheet since I changed gears earlier with my papers. This is from P13, and even though it's kind of a camping thing, it has some of the elements that work in there and some of the colors I've added. I've got some old Hip Kit Club chipboard stickers, and while some of the elements will work, I don't anticipate using all of those things, but I will throw them all in there for ease. These sticker sheets are out of the same pattern paper collection of my Simple Stories choices early on. And this one is borders, but it looks like washi tape, so I'm going to use it in place of the washi tape. So that's that. I also have one more Simple Stories regular alphabet that I will throw in here so that I have some versatility. I almost forgot to include enamel dots, but at the last minute I went and grabbed some to tuck in here as well. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, I think I remember that mushroom pattern paper that I mentioned earlier was from 49 and Market, and it reminded me that I have some 49 and Market mushroom embellishments. I thought I had acetate ones, but I can't find them. I do have these rub-on ones, and these will work really nicely with the ledger collage element, so I'm excited about using those things together. And I really want to do this stamping. I know I will have to choose inks, but I will do that when I get to the stamping. So that wraps up my embellishments. So it took me a little while to get all the moving parts and pieces of getting this video put together, so I'm in different clothing than I was at the beginning of the video, but that's how it goes sometimes. I hope you enjoyed watching me put together my kit this month, and as always, I will be back on the 4th with a makes video on creating some of my own embellishments or products to go along with this kit. I hope you will join me then, and until then, have some artful days.